We all have that one person, the one whose name lights up your phone and your stomach drops a little. You are not angry at them. You do not hate them. But after every conversation, you feel it. That heaviness, that exhaustion, that sense of being wrung out like a towel. You hang up or you walk away and you just feel less. Less energy. Less patience. Less like yourself. And here's the part that messes with people the most. You start to feel guilty for feeling that way. You tell yourself you're being dramatic, that you should be more understanding, that a good person would not feel drained by someone they care about. But draining is not a character flaw in you. It is a real dynamic, and it has real solutions. Today, I am going to give you 8 psychology tricks to protect your energy around draining people. Not tricks to be cold or cruel. Tricks to stay whole, so that other people's chaos stops becoming your exhaustion. The first trick is the gray rock method. Some people do not want a conversation. They want a reaction. They feed on drama, on emotion, on your visible frustration or your scramble to fix things. Your reaction is the reward. And as long as you keep giving it, they keep coming back for more. So you take the reward away. You become a gray rock. Calm, flat, unremarkable, boring on purpose. Keep your answers short. Keep your tone even. Give them nothing dramatic to grab onto. Because drama needs fuel. And when you stop providing it, the draining person slowly loses interest and drifts towards someone who still gives them a show. You are not being rude. You are simply refusing to be the source of energy they came to extract. The second trick is to stop over-explaining yourself. Draining people love to make you justify your decisions. They ask why. And when you answer, they ask why again and again. Every explanation you give becomes a new thread for them to pull, a new angle to argue, a new opening to make you doubt yourself. Here is what you need to remember. No is a complete sentence. You do not owe anyone a 3-paragraph essay to justify a boundary. I can't make it. That is enough. That doesn't work for me. That is enough. The more you explain, the more material you hand them. The less you explain, the less there is to argue with. A short, calm, unbothered answer ends the conversation. A long, anxious, over-justified answer just gives them more rope. The third trick is to set your exit before you walk in. Most people make a mistake with draining interactions. They go in open-ended, with no plan, no limit, no way out. And then they get stuck, trapped in a 2-hour conversation they never agreed to, slowly draining away. So decide your boundary before the interaction begins, before the call, before the dinner, before the visit. You tell yourself, I am staying 30 minutes, 1 coffee, then I leave. You set the limit in your own mind while you are still calm and clear, because the moment you are in it, the pressure begins. And it is far harder to create a boundary in the middle of being drained than it is to decide it in advance. A clear exit, set ahead of time, protects you before the first word is even spoken. The fourth trick is to stop trying to fix them. This one is hard, especially if you are a caring person. Some people do not actually want solutions. They want an audience for their problems. You offer advice, and they reject it. You offer help, and they have a reason it will not work. Because the problem is not the thing they are complaining about. The complaining itself is the point. It is how they get attention, sympathy, and your energy. And every time you try to fix it, you get pulled deeper. You invest more. You care harder. You carry a weight that was never yours to carry. You are allowed to listen without taking on the job of solving. You can say, that sounds really hard, and leave it there. You are not responsible for fixing a problem that the other person is not actually trying to solve. The fifth trick is to watch your own energy, not just theirs. Most advice about draining people focuses entirely on the other person. But the real shift happens when you start paying attention to yourself. Start noticing how your body feels around certain people. The tight chest, the clenched jaw, the exhaustion that hits the second the conversation ends. Your body keeps score long before your mind admits something is wrong. That heaviness is data. That dread is information. When you start tracking how specific people make you feel, patterns appear. You realize it is not random. It is not in your head. It is the same person, the same drain, every single time. And once you can see the pattern clearly, you can stop blaming yourself and start protecting yourself instead. The sixth trick is to delay your response instead of reacting instantly. Draining people often create a false sense of urgency. Everything is a crisis. Everything needs you right now. Every message demands an immediate reply. And that urgency is what hooks you. It pulls you out of your own life and into their emergency over and over again. So you build a gap. You do not reply the second the message arrives. You let an hour pass, or a few. You respond on your time, not on their panic. That small delay does two things. It lets the false urgency burn off on its own because most emergencies are not actually emergencies. And it quietly trains the other person that you are not on call for their every impulse. You are allowed to respond when you are ready, not the instant they decide they need you. The seventh trick is to protect your good news. This one surprises people, but it matters more than you think. Not everyone deserves access to your wins. Some people, the moment you share something good, will find a way to shrink it. They will downplay it, compete with it, or somehow turn your happy moment into a conversation about them. And every time that happens, it teaches you to stay small, to stop sharing, to dim your own light just to avoid the cold response. So be selective. Bring your good news to the people who light up when you win, and stop handing your joy to people who consistently make you regret sharing it. Your wins are not for everyone. They are for the people who actually celebrate you. The eighth trick is to accept that some distance is the healthiest choice. This is the one people resist the most, because we are taught that walking away, even a little, means we failed. But protecting your energy sometimes means accepting a simple truth. Not every relationship is meant to stay at the same closeness forever. You are allowed to love someone and still step back. You are allowed to care about a person and still stop being their emotional dumping ground. You are allowed to quietly create more space, without an announcement, without a fight, without guilt. Distance is not always rejection. Sometimes it is the only way to stay kind to someone without losing yourself in the process. And the people who truly respect you will still be there, at whatever distance keeps you whole. Here is what ties all 8 of these together. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is not cold. It is not cruel. It is what allows you to keep showing up as a good person without being slowly emptied by the people who take more than they give. Because here is the truth most people learn too late. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The kindness, the patience, the care you want to give the people who actually matter, all of it runs out if you let it get drained by people who never refill it. Gray rock when you need to. Stop over-explaining. Set your exits. Stop fixing. Watch your own energy. Delay the urgency. Protect your wins. And allow yourself distance. None of this makes you a bad person. It makes you a whole one. Because the goal was never to cut everyone off. The goal is to protect the part of you that still has something good to give. If this video gave you something you needed to hear, comment below. And subscribe to Into the Psych for more videos on human behavior, psychology, and protecting your peace in a draining world. See you in the next one.